Good morning, and welcome to the Marriott. You must be Miss Murphy. Please, come in and have a seat. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good morning, Mr. Biden. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to meet you as well, and thank you for inviting me to the hotel. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. We are quite proud of it. I'm Joseph Biden, the director of rooms here. I'll be conducting our conversation today. Before we begin, can I offer you some water or perhaps a coffee?
No, thank you, Mr. Biden. I'm perfectly fine, but I appreciate the offer.
Excellent. Well, Brittany, let's get started. The purpose of today is for me to learn more about you, your skills, and your experience, and for you to learn more about this opportunity and our team here at the Marriott. So, Brittany, to begin, could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and why you are interested in the telephone operator position with us?
Certainly, Mr. Biden. I have always enjoyed helping people and working in a fast-paced environment. For the past 3 years, I've worked in a customer service role at a busy corporate office, handling phone calls and directing inquiries. I love the energy of a busy switchboard. I am specifically interested in the telephone operator role at Marriott because I admire the hotel's reputation for exceptional service. I want to be the first friendly voice a guest hears when they call, and I believe I can help set a positive tone for their entire stay.
That's a wonderful reason. What do you understand are the main responsibilities of a telephone operator in a luxury hotel like ours?
From my understanding, the main responsibility is to be the central point of communication for the hotel. This includes answering all incoming calls promptly and professionally, connecting guests to the right departments like housekeeping or room service, taking messages accurately, and waking guests with a friendly good morning call. It's also about handling emergency calls calmly and providing information about the hotel and its services.
You mentioned handling emergency calls. Why do you think this is an important part of the role?
I believe it's the most critical part. In an emergency, guests will be scared or confused. The operator must stay completely calm, get the necessary information like the room number and the nature of the emergency, and then immediately alert the correct department, like the security team or the front desk manager. A calm and clear response can make a huge difference.
Very true. Why do you want to work specifically at the Marriott?
The Marriott brand is synonymous with quality and excellence worldwide. I've always been impressed by the consistent level of service and the care shown to guests. I want to work for a company where I can be proud of the brand and contribute to its strong reputation. I believe my own values of hard work and helpfulness align perfectly with the Marriott culture.
And why should we choose you for this position over another candidate?
You should choose me because I combine a very calm and patient personality with a real love for helping others. I understand that a luxury guest expects efficiency but also a warm, human touch. I am a fast learner, especially with new technology, and I am committed to making every interaction, even a short phone call, a positive and memorable experience for your guests.
A telephone operator's day can be very busy. How do you handle working under pressure and multitasking?
I actually enjoy a busy environment. It makes the day go by quickly. I handle pressure by staying organized and focused on one task at a time. For example, if I have a call waiting while I'm taking a message, I would politely ask the guest on the line to please hold for one moment, answer the second call quickly to see if it's an emergency or if I can put them on a brief hold, and then return to the first guest to finish their message. It's about managing expectations and staying calm.
Excellent example. Our phone system is quite advanced. Are you comfortable learning and using new technology and computer systems?
Yes, absolutely. I am very comfortable with computers and I am confident I can learn any new system quickly. In my previous job, we switched to a new software system, and I was one of the first on my team to master it because I'm not afraid to explore and ask questions. I am a quick and eager learner.
How would you handle a situation where a guest asks you a question you don't know the answer to, like the price of a specific bottle of wine in a restaurant?
I would never just say I don't know. I would say something like, "That's an excellent question, Miss Smith. Let me find the most accurate information for you. May I place you on a brief hold while I contact our restaurant team?" Then, I would either get the answer myself or, if it's complicated, connect the guest directly to the restaurant manager who can give them all the details. My goal is to get the guest the right answer, not just any answer.
Excellent. If a guest calls and is very angry because their room isn't ready, what would you say and do?
First, I would listen without interrupting and let them express their frustration. Then, I would use empathetic language. I might say, "Mr. Jones, I am so sorry to hear about this delay, and I completely understand your frustration, especially after a long journey." I would apologize sincerely. Then, I would take action. I would not try to solve the room issue myself, but I would say, "Let me personally contact the front desk manager right now to get an update for you and see what we can do to make you more comfortable immediately. May I place you on a brief hold while I do that?" This shows empathy and a commitment to solving the problem.
You have two calls flashing. One is from an outside line, and one is from a guest calling from their room. Which one do you answer first, and why?
I would answer the internal guest call first. The guest in the hotel is already here, and their request might be immediate, like asking for a towel or reporting an issue. An external caller could be a potential guest making a reservation or someone calling for information, but the guest already staying with us is our top priority. I would answer the internal call and, if appropriate, ask them if I can briefly place them on hold to answer the other line quickly.
At 2 a.m., you receive a call from a guest who sounds disoriented and says they have a terrible headache. They ask if you have any aspirin. How do you handle this?
I would express my concern immediately. "I am so sorry to hear you are not feeling well, Mr. Lee. However, for safety and liability reasons, a hotel cannot provide medication." So, I would explain that gently. "For your safety, Mr. Lee, we aren't permitted to provide medication directly. But I would be very happy to send a member of our security team up to your room to check on you, and they can assist you in contacting a nearby 24-hour pharmacy or even a doctor if you need one. Would that be helpful? My priority is their well-being and safety."
A guest calls and asks you to connect them to another guest's room, but they don't know the room number. What do you do?
For guest privacy and security, I cannot give out a guest's room number. I would politely say, "Certainly, I'd be happy to connect you. May I have the full name of the guest you are trying to reach?" Once they provide the name, I would look it up in the system and connect the call without ever revealing the room number. If the name isn't in the system, I would politely inform the caller that I have no guest by the name registered.
A VIP guest calls and requests a 5 a.m. wake-up call. What can you do to make that wake-up call more special and luxurious?
I would note the request in the system. But at 4:55 a.m., I would personally prepare. At exactly 5 a.m., I would call and say, "Good morning, Mr. Anderson. This is your 5 a.m. wake-up call from the Marriott team. I hope you have a wonderful and productive day. The weather outside is currently sunny and 72 degrees, perfect for your morning walk. Is there anything else I can assist you with to start your day, like a pot of coffee sent up or a taxi reservation?"
You are in the middle of a long and complicated call, helping a guest book a spa treatment and a dinner reservation. Another call comes in. What do you do?
I would politely and briefly interrupt the guest I'm with. "Thank you for bearing with me, Miss Brown, while we finalize these details. I have another call coming in. May I place you on a brief Soft hold for just a moment while I see if it is an emergency. This shows respect to the guest I'm with. Then I would answer the second call quickly. Thank you for calling Marriott. Please hold, and immediately return to Miss Brown to complete her plans without a long delay.
A non-English speaking guest calls the operator. You don't speak their language. How do you assist them?
I would stay calm and friendly. First, I would try to identify the language. If they say a few words, I might recognize it. Then I would say slowly and clearly, "One moment please." I would place them on a brief hold and immediately seek help. This could be from a colleague, a manager, or by looking at our list of bilingual staff members who can assist with translation. My goal is to find someone who can communicate with them.
A guest calls and complains that the room next to theirs is very noisy. What is your process?
I would apologize sincerely for the disturbance. I am so sorry to hear that your rest is being disturbed, Mrs. Vance. That is certainly not the peaceful experience we want for you. Then, I would assure them I will take action. I will personally contact our security department right away to address the noise. They will go to the floor immediately. Would you prefer they come to your room first to check on you, or simply handle the situation? I would then follow up with the guest a little later to ensure the noise has stopped and they are comfortable again.
What does the term luxury service mean to you, especially when you are just a voice on the phone?
To me, luxury service on the phone means making the guest feel like they are your only priority, even when you are busy. It means using their name, speaking with a smile in your voice, and going beyond just answering the question. It's about anticipating needs. If a guest asks for the spa phone number, a luxury operator doesn't just give the number. They might offer, "Would you like me to connect you to the spa desk?" They can help you book a treatment right now.
Patience is a key skill for this role. Can you give me an example of a time you had to be extremely patient with someone?
In my previous job, I had a caller who was elderly and had trouble hearing and understanding the information I was giving. Instead of rushing or raising my voice, I spoke very clearly and slowly. I repeated the information as many times as needed and asked simple yes or no questions to guide the call. I made sure she felt helped and respected, not like a burden. It took 10 minutes for a simple call, but she ended by thanking me for my kindness.
This job requires a clear and pleasant speaking voice. How would you describe your phone voice?
I would describe it as warm, clear, and professional. I naturally smile when I speak, and people can hear that over the phone. I also speak at a moderate pace and enunciate my words to make sure I am easily understood, especially for guests who may not be native English speakers.
How important is teamwork for a telephone operator, in your opinion?
It is extremely important. The operator is the hub of the hotel. We work with every single department. If I make a mistake taking a message for housekeeping, a room might not get cleaned. If I don't clearly communicate a guest's complaint to engineering, a problem doesn't get fixed. We have to work together as one team to create the perfect experience for the guest.
You will handle a lot of confidential information, like guest names, room numbers, and credit card details over the phone. How do you handle this responsibility?
I treat guest information with the utmost care and respect. I understand it is private and confidential. I would never repeat a guest's room number out loud. I would always verify a guest's identity before giving out any information. I would ensure that any notes or messages are handled discreetly and never left where others could see them. Trust is the foundation of our relationship with our guests.
You've answered my questions very well, Brittany. Now, do you have any questions for me about the role, the team, or Marriott?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Biden. I do have a few questions, if that's all right. My first question is about training. What does the initial training process look like for a new telephone operator here?
That's an excellent question. You would start with a general Marriott orientation, followed by dedicated time with our current telephone operator team leader. You'll learn our specific phone system, our property management software, and spend time learning about all our facilities, from our restaurants and spa to our meeting rooms. We pair new hires with a buddy for their first few weeks to ensure they feel supported.
That sounds very thorough, thank you. And my second question is about opportunities for growth. Does the hotel support career development for team members in this role?
Absolutely. At Marriott, we believe in promoting from within. Many of our front desk managers and even some of our sales coordinators started their careers as telephone operators. It's a fantastic place to learn about the entire hotel operation. If you show initiative and a great attitude, there are many paths forward.
That's wonderful to hear, thank you. And my final question is, what is the one quality you are looking for most in the ideal candidate for this position?
I would say genuine care. We can teach the phone system, but we can't teach someone to truly care about our guests. The ideal candidate has a natural desire to help and a warmth that comes through, even on a phone line. From our conversation today, I can see you possess that quality, Brittany. Well, Brittany, it has been a true pleasure meeting with you and learning about your skills and experience. Your answers were thoughtful, and your understanding of guest service is impressive.
Thank you so much, Mr. Biden. I truly appreciate your time and the opportunity to speak with you today. I have an even greater interest in the position and the hotel after learning more about the team and the Marriott culture.
You're very welcome. Our HR department will be in touch within the next few days regarding the next steps in the process. Do you have any final questions for me before we wrap up?
No, sir, you've answered all my questions. Thank you again.
Excellent. Thank you for coming in, Brittany. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. You as well. Goodbye.
Goodbye.